Hi, my name is Diana Tapia, and I am an investor coach. I am a 20-year entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, and I have found that of all the investments that you could possibly make, you will always be the best investment. So welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk about Bonnie. So Bonnie would not spend $10 on herself when I met her. And by the time we finished working together or coaching together after 6 months, she got a $15,000 raise. So let's kind of go into the details, how when we invest in ourselves, that ROI will always come back. It's only a matter of time. So when I first met Bonnie, I was working in the apartment industry, and I remember the day that she came in, she was this beautiful, young Oriental woman, and she was just amazing, kind of like not Tom Cruise in Top Gun, but she was the female version of Tom Cruise in Top Gun. That is how hot Yanni is. What's interesting about Yanni, even though she portrayed this confidence, she really lacked confidence, and you can see that the more I worked with her, the more I could see how really unconfident she really was, because she would let situations kind of ruffle her feathers, and she would lose her ground. So how is it that a person is not in the space to spend $10 on themselves? And what does that even mean? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background of her story, and I will walk you kind of through what we all need. First of all, we need permission, someone to give us permission to do something that we're not willing for ourselves. So what is something that you're not willing to do for yourself? Please answer that, and you can leave a comment in the space below. I really would love to hear. All right, going back to Bonnie, when I remember her when I met her, and she was telling me a little about her and her past experience and the job and what she liked and what she didn't like. And she mentioned that she had been in a car accident. And I was like, what? You were in a car accident? I'm like, well, tell me more. And I'm like, well, how much time did you take off? And then she was like, none. I went to work the next day. And then she went on to tell me how they didn't appreciate her at work, even though she made the sacrifice to come in after she had been in an accident. So I'm wondering if you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, because really I asked her is, how is it possible for someone else, your employer, anyone else, to appreciate you when you don't even appreciate you? Because I know a little bit about accidents, and it takes ligaments after an accident about 18 months to recover after an accident, and she didn't even take one day off. And that's just one example. That really kind of shows, right, that what we appear is not always who we really are. And at that moment in time, this beautiful young woman, as much as she portrayed this confidence, she was not, and it was reflecting not only in the way that people treated her, but in her paycheck. All right, so the first and most important investment will always be you. So I remember Bonnie coming in, and she had bunions on her feet. I totally remember she kind of took off her shoe, and she had these shoes she bought at Amazon maybe for like $10, and she had her feet were sore and they were red and they were really screaming for help. At least that's what I believe and saw when I saw them. And I was like, girl, what are you doing wearing these shoes? She's like, oh, they were only like $10. I'm like, oh girl, no. I was like, your feet need this shoe. And I remember showing her a beautiful leather Mary Jane shoe. Now, I wonder how much you can guess that price for that shoe is. $150? Ooh, what just went through your mind? Oh no, I couldn't spend that on myself. Was that you? Because if that was you, that was Bonnie. So I only worked with her for about 2 months, but I will tell you the rest of the story shortly. When I showed her the pairs of shoes, it's a leather shoe, it's a quality shoe, it'll last her a lifetime. The answer was absolutely not. I'm just going to stick to my $10 shoes. Well, you can only imagine how her feet felt the whole time. And the type of treatment that she gave herself was reflective in the type of treatment that people gave her. How do you learn to invest in you? Working with Bonnie for 2 months was really the best time, one of the best times I've ever had as a coach. And yes, I was there to work and I did my job, but foremost, I'm always a coach. And so I have a coaching style that's called unsolicited coaching. I coach without you even knowing that I'm coaching you. And that is exactly what we did with Bonnie. And yet you could see a transformation going on with her. So what's interesting about Bonnie is that even though we had the opportunity only to work for 2 months, after a couple of months, I received a text message, and that text message said, "Oh, look at what I did. I just dropped $300 on 2 pairs of shoes for my feet." And not only did she spend $300 on her feet, she added a facial, she added a haircut, and she dropped $300 on natural face care products for her face. Because another thing that I didn't mention about Bonnie, I have this belief, as in is out, as above below. What does that mean? Everything that you are inside is exactly what is being projected and mirrored into your reality. And so she didn't treat herself with self-care, and she couldn't see herself or see her worth and see how beautiful she was to invest in herself. She spent her time investing in other people. And guess where she spent her time? Working, demands, commitments. She was always exhausted. She was always haggard. She was always kind of running behind. Actually, she was, her timing. She was always behind time. When you put other people and other things in front of yourself, you will never have time. No one will see your worth because you don't see it. And you kind of won't really get what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you will always be doing what someone else wants. So after 2 months of working with beautiful Bonnie and coaching her every chance that I got, a couple months down the road, she sends me a text, new haircut, new pairs of shoes, new look, and most importantly, a new job. Here you have a person who's completely changed her self-image, and your self-image does not, while it may start with your clothing, other than yourself, that's the second best investment I recommend, but it really started with her willing to take care of herself. The willingness to look at herself, the willingness to answer all the questions as to why everyone else was more important than her. So the sweet spot and the return on her investment was that she got a job really making as much money as I was as her boss, with the same position that she had came in when she went to work for me. So if you are a person that is waiting for someone to appreciate you, someone to notice your talents, to give you a raise, any of the things that you want and you're not getting, this is the channel for you. Because I would always make it real. I would always tell you what it is, but I will always do it from a place of love and passion. So if you are looking to know where to start, I invite you to look at the screen below, and in the description below, I have a gift for you. It's the best coaching tool that you will ever need other than me. And that is the time wheel. So what is the time wheel? Most people are thinking, I need to lose weight, I need to get a raise, I need to fill in the blank. And I want you to just stop right there. Take a breath and stop. You will only need to do one thing. There are 7 very important things to do in life in order to live a well-rounded, balanced life, but you only need to start with one. In my time wheel, I'm more of the investor of where you invest 20% of you and allow the 80% to come back. That means less of you wherever you are so that you may receive more to do more of the things that you want to do for you. If this sounds of interest, I invite you, again, to look at the description below and pick up the wheel, this time wheel. There's 7 categories. All you have to do is just choose one, and that is the first place to start. So what are the 7 categories? Health, wealth, fun, mind, spirit, and you. Concentrating in these 7 areas will guarantee that you will always get the best and highest rate of return in all the things you do. So the best investment I ever made, and this is about a 15-year-old item. This is a Guess leather bag, and it comes with a wonderful little wrist wrap. And actually, I'm going to step back for a minute so you can, didn't see that, but I'm going to step back for a minute so you can see this beautiful item, and it actually matches what it is that I'm wearing, so I can wear it like this. And I love actually wearing this with heels and with a dress, but I will show you what this fabulous bag looks like. And as you can see, it wraps here. I actually bought this at a boutique shop, so I don't even know how old this purse is. And I want to talk about quality, because when you become a woman of quality, wherever you go, you will be treated as such, and you will last for a long time. You will look gorgeous. Your skin will look gorgeous. Your nails will look gorgeous. Your body, by the time you turn 80, 70, 90, it will hardly look like it has any wear and tear. And that is because you put yourself first, because you invested in you, and you are your guaranteed investments. I will talk about investments later in this channel, but the best investment will always be you in fashion. Fashion never goes out of style. And I would tell you that side note here, I just came from a trip from Colombia, and I found pieces that I will, in this channel, always bring out something and always share the story behind it. However, I found pieces that I wore in the 80s when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure that costed $5, and I bought one for $100. And so talk about investments. When you invest in the right pieces, the value will always come back. If you're not familiar with the term ROI, that's rate of return, and you need time to receive that investment back. It doesn't happen in the moment that you invested. So please, this is a channel that takes time, but whatever time you spend with me, you will get back. All right, back to fashion. So this beautiful bag here, I purchased it at a boutique shop. I love consignment shopping. If you have not been into consignment shopping, yes, it's Goodwill, but it's a higher quality than Goodwill, and not every state has. I've only found like really 2 states in the whole US, actually 3, New York, some parts of North Carolina, and I'm a Colorado girl, so Denver, Colorado Springs were some of the best shopping that I have done, consignment shopping, and that are basically secondhand consignment shops where women bring quality pieces, and you find quality pieces at a very affordable price. Some of the places are Clothes Mentor. Clothes Mentor to me is, if I'm going to put it in a category of 1, 2, 3, it's a 3, and then Goodwill's right underneath. I think they're really good and affordable. You'll find them in most places. However, the type of boutique shops that I'm speaking of, they're more in high-end places, and you'd be surprised where you find them. But they're very, I'm going to say these days, they seem to be a little bit fewer. But just to give you an idea, but like I said, I bought this about 15 years ago. I've used it. I've taken care of it. You would think it has a story behind it, as you can tell. However, it still looks very new, and as you can see, it's very light and it's very fashionable. I don't remember how much I paid, but I'm going to say anywhere from 30 to 60 bucks about 15 years ago. You know, and so you really can't put a price on pieces that last a lifetime, and you really can't put a price on you. And if you can learn that equation, you will last a lifetime. Thank you for tuning into this channel. Coaching from the Heart, Diana.